guest on the line. We have Keznamdi. You're right there. How you doing?
Yeah, man, we're there, man, we're there. Upward, upward.
Yeah, man. So, tell the people out there who you are. What artist are you?
Me,
Yeah.
I'm just an artist that is very interested in researching the power of sound
Yeah, man.
and using sound to influence people in a constructive and progressive way.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's the kind of artist that I am.
Wicked. I love that vibe. So, I understand that your parents were in a band called Chakula. Have I got that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. What was it like growing up in a musical household? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Chakula is actually the a Kiswahili word. So it's
Okay.
the language what they speak in Eastern Africa, in Tanzania, Uganda,
Wow.
in Kenya. But chakula means food.
Okay.
So I remember growing up, and I used to tell my friends that that my parents' band is called Chakula, and they ask what it means and the food, and they would laugh. But it's not when you really grow up and you get old and you really understand it's spiritual food.
Yeah, for real.
But growing up, having parents doing music was very normal to me because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
I actually thought that everybody had studios in their house. I
Wow.
thought that everybody had rehearsal spaces in their home. Because, growing up to what 10 years ago it wasn't really the norm to have a studio. Now it's easy to have a studio because all you need is a mic and an interface.
Yeah. For real.
But back in those days, studio was a big thing. If you have a studio, that's like a big thing. But I thought that was the norm.
Yeah.
So I never really knew how precious my upbringing was until I left home.
Wow. For real, definitely.
And yeah.
So what does?
But yeah, growing up there was. Pardon me.
No, I was gonna carry on. No worries, carry on.
No, I was just growing up. It was just mommy always writing songs, daddy always mixing, and football was really my passion at that time, soccer.
Okay.
But then the music from a hobby became a profession, or a passion first, and then a profession, and then I guess you can call it my lifestyle now.
Yeah, man, wicked. So I asked this question earlier on my Facebook page, and a lot of different people gave their views and opinions. I just want to know what you think really on what does reggae mean to you, or music mean to you.
Well, reggae, what people have to understand is a special genre because reggae deal with history. Is our oral history.
Yeah.
It tells the story of a people. You know what I mean?
For real.
And also reggae music deal with truth.
Yeah.
So it's not that much entertainment. You know what I mean? I think other genres of music have a lot to do with entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, and like pop music is more about entertaining the person and just it's more about good vibes and stuff. Reggae music also have good vibes and also have a entertainment side to it, but the main focus of reggae music
The message.
is a message. You know what I mean? So that's what I think what makes reggae music totally different from all the genres of music and sound out there. But what music means to me, music is just a medium and an avenue
Yeah.
to as I said, share stories and share your story and share your truth that other people can also relate to as well.
Yeah, man. For real. So I understand that you wrote your first song at the age of 5. Mix a Color.
Well, I didn't write it, but it was my mom who wrote it.
Yeah.
I recorded my first song at 5 years old. So it was my mother was working on a children's album called Save the World.
Yeah.
And during that time, obviously, she had a lot of children singing on the album as well.
Okay.
And one of the songs on that project, my song didn't make the album though. Funny enough, all my sister's songs made it. It didn't make the cut, but it was a song about mixing colors.
Okay.
And that was like really my first professional setting in the studio. Yeah.
So what was that song about for you?
Mixing colors, it was like mix a color all day long. And then, like, I remember in the studio, my mom was actually holding up crayons.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what color made what color. You know what I mean? So she had to hold up the crayons in the voicing booth. So I knew what color made what color. Up to now, I still don't know what color makes what color. You know, so she would probably still have to hold up crayons in the recording booth.
Yeah.
You know, if we're recording that song.
So it's a family vibe all the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I understand that yourself and your sisters were put into music schools. How was that?
Yeah.
How was that, and is it common? You know.
It wasn't really like a music school like how you would think of it, like this big theory and stuff. I remember it was this lady called Miss Lumsden.
Okay.
She was a very, very strict music teacher. And it was more about just kind of experimenting with sound, you know what I mean? Because my father and mother really strongly believe in you learning the craft through your way and not through a teacher or professor way where you sit down and you learn theory and you learn. It was more fun, you know what I mean? But yeah, all of us had a strong musical background where, you know, all my sisters like went up to like a level 5 or level 6 in piano, and yeah, it was always there. And you know, I think my parents kind of wanted to just, it wasn't like they were putting me in school to be, you know, this star, you know what I mean, and say, yo, you're gonna be the next Jackson 5, all of you. It was more about, you know, it's important for every child to have that experience, you know, that music experience, because it's like therapy. So actually, like, I believe that every household should have a room or a space where involve a lot of instruments, and singing with family is a very important part of our evolution as human beings. You know?
Definitely. So the next kind of question is about, you're very worldly travelled because you've been to the States, Ethiopia, Tunisia. What life lessons did that give you as a person for music?
I think traveling, from my experience, is the best classroom.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I grew up in Jamaica till I was like about 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
And then mommy came home one day and said that we're moving to Tanzania. I didn't even know what Tanzania was or where it was. That's the first time I ever heard that word. And she said it's in Africa. And as a youth, me I say, yo, just monks, baboon, and elephants, no, and, you know, because just how they portray Africa in world media, you know.
Definitely.
But, you know, also growing up in a Rasta house as well, Africa was, my parents are very Afrocentric people, you know. So, you know, they showed us different things. But growing up, you know, we moved to Tanzania. We got exposed. Imagine going to a place where you don't know the language, you don't know the food, you don't know where the mall is, you don't know nothing. Like, that open up a lot of different psyches in yourself, like to really evolve quicker and learn quicker, and it stimulates your mind on a whole nother level, because you're being exposed to different cultures, different foods, different kind of people, different languages. And yeah, so like we lived in Tanzania for 3 years, and then I moved to Ethiopia for another 3 years. Came to California for school as well.
Wow.
And then been living in a suitcase. But and it definitely has affected my music, you know, like I think if people listen to my music, they can hear the strong foundation of reggae music, but you can also hear the different genres that is incorporated in the music as well, you know what I mean? And that's naturally just from traveling all around the world and meeting somebody from Tanzania who is playing a playlist of music from Senegal, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And how, you know, so yeah, definitely traveling is the best classroom.
For real. So who has inspired you and influenced you?
Well, on a life level, Haile Selassie the First is my greatest influence to me. I feel like he's a very noble human being, you know what I mean? From the stories that we hear from our ancestors, from the achievements he has made in his life, and the impact that he has made on the human race, you know what I mean?
For real.
But beyond that, on a musical level, you know, definitely my parents first, you know, like
Yeah.
If you hear a lot of my parents' albums, which are not released, you know, it's a lot of, they only release really one album, but they have like 10 albums recorded. You can hear a lot of those influences in my work and also my sister's work, Kelly's.
Yeah.
You know, but beyond that, also, we have the whole entire Marley family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about like Peter Tosh, Bonnie Wailer, Alpha Blondie, Lucky Dube, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Burning Spear. Like, these are just some of the records that were being played in the house, you know, coming and growing up in a Rasta house, you know?
For real.
And then also, on my own thirst and love for music, I traveled out and listened to music like Nina Simone, all the way up until Lauryn Hill, Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
I can, like, trust me, that's literally all I do. Listen to music and listen to songs from all around the world. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, when you're doing your music, is there a key message within each song, or is it the same kind of key message you want to portray in each music or each song?
It's not that much of a formula for me.
Yeah.
Where I sit down and say, okay, you know, this is the message and this is the thing, you know. When I go into the studio or I'm about to record, I hold a reverence within myself.
Okay.
And really just ask divine to inspire me with melodies and words and whatever comes, you know. And usually what comes is good stuff, good progressive, good messages. Luckily, luckily it's not bad things coming, you know.
Yeah.
So it's never a formula for me. You know, like music is a very free flow. I try not to be as critical because being in this industry and have to be like mixing your work and making sure that everything is right. Sometimes you get a little bit critical, but I try my best to be as free flow as possible because music is a joy, you know. It's not a stress.
Sure. Definitely. So, you know, the first time really I started to hear of yourself was when you did a collaboration with Chronix on a song called Victory.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about that song for the listeners out there?
Victory was on my second EP.
Yeah.
It's a volume 1 called Skyline Levels. And I remember when I was recording that song, I had all the verses recorded already.
Okay.
And a little bit of the chorus. And I knew for a fact that I couldn't sing the chorus, you know?
Yeah.
And just to bring out the power of it, not that I can't sing it, but just to bring the dynamic and the soulfulness, I was actually thinking about Jacure.
Okay.
And I called Chronix because I knew he is one of my favorite Jamaican singers.
Yeah.
And I called Chronix and I said, Chronix, I have a song where we need you for demo for me for Jacure.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to make sure say when Jacure hear it, he can't turn it down, you know?
Yeah.
Funny enough, within the hour, Chronix was in the studio and we recorded the whole song, literally. Harmonies, everything, and it was a demo.
Okay.
And I remember when we finished recording the song, now, we started to realize, like, whoa, this is something special. And I remember when Chronix was leaving the studio, he literally said, yo, if Jackie don't sing it, leave my voice on it. Anyway, it turned out where it just never happened. It never worked out with Cure. And
okay.
I call back Chronix and I tell Chronix, say, yo, we're going to leave your voice on it, and he did want to come back and actually record it over properly because we did it very quickly. It was like 30, 45 minutes of harmonies, lead vocal, everything, you know.
Yeah.
And he wanted to come and record it over, but there's no way I was going to allow him to do that because it was just so special, you know.
For real.
That frequency out and we couldn't change. So actually what's out right now is actually a demo.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's kind of how Victory was born.
Okay, and the lyrics in the song itself, what was the meaning behind it for you?
You know, I think everybody is great in their own little way.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
And whether you're Usain Bolt or whether you're somebody just impacting the world on a smaller level, you're still great because everybody's playing their role.
Yeah.
And all great people whether rich or poor, black, yellow or brown, or purple, or whichever race you say you is,
Yeah.
have a struggle to face. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of that journey of that person going through their struggle and overcoming it and becoming that great person that is within you. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of overcoming all his struggles.
For real.
That's what's really it's about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Could you, I've been asked as well, could you give us a little flavour of, I guess, victory on air right now?
Sleepless nights under pressure got a lot on my mind. What would life be without all these struggles of mine? Can't sleep, so me steam cheese for peace of mind. Can't sleep, but these sweet dreams do ease my mind.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah, man. So what would you say to young people that want to get involved within music?
Um, the first thing is really cherish the time that nobody knows you.
Yeah.
You know, I think that is very important. I remember a couple years ago when Protege was out and he was a big artist at that, very big artist coming out in that time, like 4 years ago. And I remember him saying in an interview, saying that those same words, like cherishing the time that you have when nobody knows you. And here I am now saying the same thing because it's really true. And also understanding that it's all about the music.
Yeah.
It have nothing to do with nothing else other than getting the music out and focusing all your efforts on making the best music that you can possibly make.
Definitely.
And then if you make the best music that you can possibly make, if it's to reach the people, it will reach the people inevitably.
Yeah, for real.
You know.
Definitely. So what's next for you then? What have you got coming up next?
Well, I got Skyline Levels Volume 2
Okay.
coming out this fall. You know what I mean? It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm basically done with the project. I'm tightening up a little screws.
Okay.
We have our lead single coming out in the next 2-3 weeks. Lead out single for the project.
Yeah.
So we have some new music coming out right now, which I can't wait for the world to hear these frequencies.
Okay.
You know?
Definitely.
We have our show coming up in New York. We're actually been really trying to set up a show in England because England we haven't been to England yet with our project.
Wow.
Which
you know
is
what?
very unfortunate, and I have to change that.
Yeah, that was my next
So
question.
So the next step is really to come to London and Europe because Europe hasn't gotten a chance to hear the project live,
Wow.
which is a very important part of experiencing Skyline Levels.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So definitely, we have to come to England either end of this year or early next year.
Wicked. So people, look out for him. Look out. Because you're coming, yeah?
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
man, for sure. After man. Like, to be honest, London and New York has always been very strong supporters of my music from the get-go. So I just feel I urge and I definitely have to answer to this urge to come to London, you know?
Definitely. So, is there any, I say, final thoughts to the people out there that you want to say before we end the interview?
Nothing really other than like know yourself and know the role that you play in humanity and make sure you play it right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
And do what you have to do now because tomorrow is never promised.
For sure.
And make sure that you listen to Keznamdi music too.
Yeah, of course. I just want to say that I'm really appreciative that you took the time out to have a conversation with myself, and I'm loving the vibes that you're bringing, and I hope to see you in the UK very soon.
Yeah, man, and thank you very much. It's been an honor for having me on your platform and sharing my music and my story with your people who listen to your show, you know what I mean? So, we really give thanks for the opportunity to be here as well, you know?
Definitely. I hope to hear from you very, very soon, every time.
All right, yeah, man. We link up, man. Love every time.
Give thanks.
All right.
Bless. Bye-bye. Yes, right, people. You heard it here first. Keznamdi. Make make sure you lock into his vibes, you lock into his everything that he just said. Make sure you lock into.